Hello, and welcome to a glorious episode of Probably Next Week on Raw. I'm Bryon, and joining me, as always, a guy who is very much happy that R-Truth is back in the WWE. Mike, say hi, Mike.
So did we get worked into a shoot or did we get shot into a work? I think it's the latter.
I I don't know at this
I
point
think
what we got here, so
I think we got shot into a work because our truth said it wasn't a work,
yeah.
and the the opinion of people that are much more familiar with how Triple H thinks seem to also think it is not a work. So I am of the opinion that this probably was not a work, and instead was them sort of pivoting after the crazy amount of backlash they received from letting Truth go in the first place.
I think
So,
so, yeah. It
which is
definitely,
crazy,
yeah.
but
It definitely feels like a pivot. And again, it kind of goes to show you the amount of, I guess, conflict that's going on between TKO and WWE with the whole Triple H angle, and also with the whole WrestleMania going back to Vegas again. It kind of seems like something that Triple H wouldn't do. He would probably have let this happen anywhere else. It was probably a TKO decision direct from the top, and Triple H had to, you know, just pucker his lips and just roll along with the decision. I don't think he had any say in it, or if he did have as much say in it, he probably didn't, get considered, or he probably got ignored with that suggestion. But anyway, we got our truth back. It's a glorious day. The fans have a reason to celebrate, and we are very happy here on the show. So,
it's fair.
yeah. And we are also coming off of Money in the Bank. And I must say, I think that there were more developments for SmackDown coming off of Money in the Bank than Raw, if you think about it. I think the only thing that happened on Raw was Seth Rollins is Mr. Money in the Bank. And that was it. Rest kinda was just SmackDown. I don't know about you. I mean, we also had Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch,
Yes.
but most of the developments were more for SmackDown than Raw. So this week, I think SmackDown is going to have more of a development than Raw, but that's not to say that there's nothing in terms of progression that's happening on Raw. But regardless, we are going to try to book these shows as good or mediocre as they are and try to see if we are correct, and we are going to do them using these rules. We can only use active superstars on their respective rosters with no crossovers. Non-active wrestlers can be used within the realm of possibility in our booking. Our booking includes announced matches for next week's show with our predictions, and our booking can use any valid stipulation for any match aside from the announced matches. After we have locked down our bookings and predictions for the matches using this episode, we are going to watch the next episode of Monday Night Raw, and we are going to score our predictions and bookings based on these systems that we put in place here. So, for matches, we got 1 point for each person competing on the show, and 1 point for who won and how, and 1 point for the stipulation. Promos, we have half a point for each person coming out, and 1 point if that person comes out first, making it a segment centered around him or her, and 1 point for each topic that is being talked about by each person in the segment. 1 point for the correct order of segments from beginning to end, and half a point if the predicted promo person is in a match, and vice versa. Anything announced between the release of this video and the beginning of the show counts towards the points, and any backstage segments and ad-free segments do not count. That is that. So, let's get into the points. I think this week was kind of a bit of a head-to-head. I think I had 4.5, and Mike, you had 4. But regardless,
Yep.
yes. But regardless, I had a 10-point lead. I guess it's because I'm being too gracious with my points. But there we go, I guess. And let's hope if Mike can catch up. I'm looking at my booking, and I think like half of this may not happen, but we shall see. And we'll take a look at each other's bookings. But before that, we got some announced matches. As mentioned, I guess in the X or Blue Sky pages, there are the King and Queen of the Ring qualifying matches that are starting. And we also have a return of Nikki Bella. You heard that right. Nikki Bella is coming back to Monday Night Raw. And we also have Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. So, without further ado, let's book this thing, starting off with my version of the show. As we head into a Seth Rollins promo, we're going to have Seth Rollins come out with his faction, which is still not named, by the way. He talks about the Money in the Bank win and how he got the briefcase, he has the power, he's got the opportunity to cash in on Jey Uso or John Cena, and he says that with this briefcase, he will be unstoppable. And then we're going to have Jey Uso come out and says that the cash in will not work, and that's because he's got the people behind him. He's got 4 letters, 1 word. Okay. I got that one right this time. 4 letters, 1 word, eat. All that good stuff. And we're gonna have a
It's
brawl.
actually 4 letters, 1 word. Eat.
Eat.
Ryan.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't get it right,
Sorry.
please.
But yeah, so after that, we're gonna have a brawl, and we're gonna have Gunther appear, just laughing at all the chaos that's happening, and that will set up Jey versus Gunther, which I have as the main event for this evening. And with that, we move on to a Sheamus versus Rusev match. And this happened because we had promos from Sheamus and Rusev about their match, or impending match, I should say, from last week. And we're gonna have Rusev win by submission, and he beats Sheamus up after the match. And we're gonna portray Sheamus as a bit of an underdog here, as he tries to get one over on Rusev. Maybe the next time they come and wrestle again. But we're gonna have Rusev win to get that momentum for Rusev and get him some, more cemented kind of mid-card feud there. We transition then to a Queen of the Ring quarterfinal, as Stephanie Vaquer takes on Ivy Nile, Rhea Ripley, and Raquel Rodriguez. I'm gonna have Stephanie Vaquer win by pinfall because she is being pushed. She is being pushed hard, and I think they're going to make her Queen of the Ring, and she will use it to kind of catapult herself to the top of the card. I think that's what's gonna happen. You could say that Rhea Ripley probably would win Queen of the Ring as well, but I don't think so. I think it's gonna go to someone new. And Ivy Nile is not gonna win. Raquel is also not gonna win. So I think Stephanie Vaquer wins here, and should be that. Moving on to a Becky Lynch promo where she talks about her Money in the Bank match and winning the title from Lyra. She says she was the better woman than Lyra Valkyria, and no matter what Lyra does, she will always be second best to Becky. And then we have Lyra appear and attack Becky from behind and demands a rematch for Night of Champions for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. But this time, it won't be a regular match. No. It will be something like a steel cage match or a Hell in a Cell. But either way, she is going to demand a rematch for Saudi Arabia. And it will be, again, another match between Becky and Lyra. and there's probably going to be some stipulation there. I don't know what that would be. Maybe Lyra doesn't challenge for that title again if she loses. And if Becky wins, I don't know. Becky holds on to the title forever or something. I don't know. Some not great stipulation. But that is what I will have for that segment. And we are going to transition to the King of the Ring quarterfinal. As Sami Zayn takes on Braun Breaker, CM Punk, and AJ Styles. And I am going to have Sami win by pinfall. And Sami. Yes. I think I have Sami. I have Sami win this match. I want them to push Sami. That's all. And I think AJ Styles won't be pushed. CM Punk is kind of factored into the storyline between Seth Rollins and all that. And I don't think he's going to win King of the Ring. And he's a veteran. So I'd rather have it be someone new like Sami Zayn or Braun Breaker. I wouldn't be sad, excuse me, if Braun Breaker wins. But I think Sami Zayn, we're gonna have an underdog story for him, and he wins King of the Ring. And yeah, that's it. And then next is Nikki Bella coming back. I have no idea what she's going to talk about. If I had to guess, she's probably going to talk about being away for a while, coming back, and she's going to announce that she's going to be in the Queen of the Ring tournament, and she has a match next week, because I kind of have one quarterfinal match for Queen of the Ring this week, and then next week there will be another women's Queen of the Ring sort of quarterfinal match there. So I would slot her in for next week's match instead of this week. But I really don't know. Maybe she's gonna get into a feud with how the other woman in the roster. I'm not sure who, but there you go. I don't know what she's gonna say, and I don't know why she's back here. But there you go. And then our main event, Jey versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I'm going to have Jey Uso retain by submission as Gunther taps out. However, after Jey Uso wins, we are going to have a cash-in by Seth Rollins. I'm going to have Seth Rollins cash in, and he beats Jey Uso easily and wins the World Heavyweight Championship as the show goes off the air. So I am going to have Seth Rollins just waste that briefcase right away and get the title. There you go. Heist of the century has been repeated as the show goes off the air. Any thoughts, Mike?
Okay, my first question is, why do you keep trying to book Rusev versus Sheamus when they're obviously going to make this a pay-per-view match? Like, it's clear that Sheamus is not going to be doing this on Raw. I don't think. I think they're going to save this for a pay-per-view. Maybe like a B-list pay-per-view, like a Clash in Paris or something like that.
I don't
That
think
seems
it.
to be their route here.
Well, I don't think it warrants a PLE. I think this is more. This is probably gonna be on the Go Home show, or the Saudi show, or it could be on the Random Raw. I don't think this warrants a PLE, just because it's a mid card feud, and they generally try to put mid card feuds with a bit more interesting story behind them, I guess. But then again, they did book Dominic Mysterio versus, what is it, Octagon Jr. for Money in the Bank. So I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen on a PLE. I think it's gonna happen on a Raw, and it's a more mid card feud that some people are interested in, but I don't think it's worthy of it being in a PLE, and I don't think they think it's worthy in a PLE unless they think of an angle or an approach that makes the audience sort of care for this match. But so far, I don't think they found that yet. So
Okay. So you have Jey Uso retaining by a submission. Okay.
Yes, and
Um,
then Seth cashes in.
okay, you have Seth cashing in quite early. I was talking to you yesterday, and you told me that you believe they were going to milk this for a little bit until maybe at least like WrestleMania. I was thinking probably SummerSlam, but did you change your opinion?
I changed my opinion after thinking about it. Like I would have Seth kind of just use it immediately and just establish himself as the next big bad guy for the foreseeable future, at least until the next year's WrestleMania, where they go back
Okay.
to Vegas again. And yeah, so
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I was always of the opinion that they were probably going to wait a little while for Seth to cash in, just because of they want to milk that Money in the Bank tension. But
yeah.
okay, yeah, I guess they want to establish Seth as the big bad on Raw. So okay,
But
cool.
yeah, I mean, they could try to slow burn it, but they're they think they're aware that we think that their booking has been kind of boring, and they're kind of relying on moments to sort of keep interest in the product. That's why you have our truth coming back to say, "Hey, we listened to you guys. Look, we brought him back. There you go." Right?
I'm still
And
convinced it was a shoot. I'm still convinced it was a shoot. Honestly,
but yeah, I think that I don't think that they would slow burn this whole Seth Rollins having a briefcase. I think they're gonna have a moment where we have a cash in. Seth Rollins wins, gets his title, has the power. There you go. Big bad guy has been set up, and there you go. I think that will happen.
okay.
All right. Anything else before we go to your version of the show?
No, we can start off with my version if you would like.
All right. Let's go. Starting off with
Oh, hold on, let me pull up my card here. Okay, I have first Jey Uso coming out with a promo per usual. He takes roughly 35 minutes to get to the ring. And he comes out, says that he's going to fight Gunther tonight. He beat John Cena and Logan Paul on Saturday. Shout out to R Truth, which gets a big pop. Seth Rollins, in the middle of the promo, comes out. He says, "Hey, listen, good luck tonight, Jay. I'll be watching. Make sure you watch your back because I have the briefcase and I'm always here." And then Jey Uso says, "Yeah, four letters, one word, yeet," and that's the promo.
I forgot to ask you this. What kind of nickname would Seth Rollins have? You know how like Tiffany Stratton has like Tiffy in the bank, or they kind of put nicknames to the briefcase holders. What do you think the nickname for Seth Rollins would be? Rolling in the bank or something?
Yeah, rolling in the bank.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They'll think of something cheesy, I can tell. Okay. No questions there. Moving on.
Okay, then we move to the men's King of the Ring quarterfinal. I'm gonna have CM Punk versus Braun Breaker versus Ludwig Kaiser versus Penta. I actually have Braun winning this one, and I think what they're going to try to do is they want to make Seth's group have all the titles. So I think what's going to happen is Braun gets to he actually wins King of the Ring. I think. I know it's kind of a stretch, but I think he wins King of the Ring, and he goes after John Cena. I don't think he wins unless someone else takes the title from John Cena, but I think Braun does end up winning, and he either goes after someone at SummerSlam before Seth Rollins does, or not. But I think Braun Breaker wins via pinfall on Ludwig Kaiser, who is just there to take a pin, pinfall, and with interference from the rest of the unnamed Seth Rollins and friends.
What a shame that Ludwig Kaiser is back and gets pinned. But it is what it is. It's interesting you have Penta on here. What do you imagine Penta would do after this match? Since you're saying that he would lose the quarterfinal.
He would lose, but he wouldn't. He wouldn't like get pinned. I think his eventual destination is the IC title.
Okay, so Dominic.
I think.
All right. Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
I think he goes after Dominic next, and I think he gets the IC title. Yes.
Okay. All right. Moving on.
Okay, I have basically a carbon copy of your Becky Lynch promo. I have Becky Lynch coming out saying that she was right. She's better than Lyra. Lyra is great, but let Becky will always be better. Lyra comes out, attacks him from behind, says she wants a rematch at the Saudi show or SummerSlam. Could also be SummerSlam as well. But I think we want to end this fucking feud, please. Good lord, please. And she says, Night of Champions, I want an IC title fight. I want it to be a cage match. Hell in a Cell.
Heck in a sec.
Heck in a Sec. Yep. And that gets booked. So.
All right. Wow. Okay. Interesting that we kind of have the same thing. But
I send you my cards. So you probably copied.
What do you mean?
Me.
I did not. I did not. I did not. Okay, I knew
it's the natural progression. It's a natural progression of a feud, though. It's a natural progression.
She won, so she gets a promo segment like that. That's how it works.
They fought twice now. They've fought twice now. She wins. She gets a promo segment. Now they want to blow the feud off, so they go in a Heck in a Sec.
Yeah,
it's natural progression of a feud.
That's the progression. Yeah,
very predictable.
Okay. Whew. I swatted those allegations off. Moving on.
Okay, so we have Finn Balor and JD McDonagh, known announcement table enthusiast JD McDonagh versus Alpha Academy. And I'm having the Judgment Day win this one with help from Roxanne Perez, and that continues Roxanne's gold diggery, I would say, with the Judgment Day. Trying to peel off McDonagh and Finn Balor by helping them win. And that, I think, eventually leads to a Judgment Day Civil War, which will hopefully finally fucking kill this group once.
He is pushing the fall of the Judgment Day so hard.
Please.
With the constant Finn Balor of just hating on his teammates and then saying we're good friends now the next week, I don't think this breakup is gonna happen until like next year.
This is a very toxic relationship. I think Finn wins via pinfall, by the way. But this is a very toxic relationship because you have like the PS5, which is why most of them stay. I think Carlito probably took the PS5 with him. Got released though, unfortunately. You have Finn Balor who hates them, but then comes back every week, and then you have Roxanne trying to be the homewrecker. It's trying to be the homewrecker on the homewrecker.
Yeah,
this is a very weird group that just needs to resolve.
They're kind of like those high school kids that basically hang out after school. That's what I think. But yeah, it's kind of run its course, and I'm not sure where this is going, but whatever. Yeah, Alpha Academy is not gonna get any wins, unfortunately.
We were talking about this yesterday when we were watching the pay-per-view. Do you think that Dom's actual wife has a cock fetish?
Okay. Yeah,
I was talking this yesterday that if my wife was in a storyline like this with like a man, I'd be like, okay, it's one guy, fine, whatever. But then if you extend it into him being basically like him being stolen and cheating on his kayfabe girlfriend with another woman, and then now another woman comes in, I'd be like, okay, chill the fuck out a little bit, okay? Like one is fine for the sake of a storyline, okay? What two?
Yeah.
We need to hold
Yeah.
up, okay? So either she doesn't give a fuck or she has a cock fetish. There's no in between.
I think it's the former. I mean, honestly, if she consents to it, obviously everyone knows that Dom is married in real life, or everyone should know, I guess. But Dom is married in real life, and I think if she is okay with it, if she consents to it, and she doesn't care that this is happening, like as long as she's carrying out the IRL duty of being a wife to Dom, I don't see an issue with it. I can see this going out of hand though, but I think if the consent is there, if all parties involved are okay with it, and they consent to, you know, just participating in this storyline, I think it's fine.
That
But
reminds me of a meme that I saw where it's like the delusion of consent. You know that meme where it's like is there someone you forgot to ask, and it's like Liv and Dom, and then all the time it's Finn Balor.
I
uh,
mean, yeah. If all else fails, just blame Finn Balor. He'll take the pin. He will take the pin.
you will. Okay.
Yeah. Moving on.
So moving on.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna admit that I had no fucking clue what to do with this woman because I've never seen her before in my entire life. I told you that this era of WWE is like my blank spot. I'd have no idea what happened during this time.
Yeah.
So I don't know what she's about. I
Right.
think she's married to John Cena. Am I right? Am I wrong?
I think she used
Or
to be
she used
married.
to be?
Used to.
Yeah, you told me she used to be. Okay.
And
All
then
right.
John was like, I don't want to have kids. She was like, okay, divorce time.
So I think she comes back, explains why she was away, and then says that she's entering Queen of the Ring. And why is she entering Queen of the Ring? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe she's like, I want, this is my retirement tour. I want to be, I want to go out on top, whatever. I don't know. But I think she enters Queen of the Ring. And this leads to the Queen of the Ring quarterfinal between her, Kairi Sane, Rhea, and Raquel Rodriguez. And I think she wins via roll up on Raquel Rodriguez thanks to a distraction, or sorry, on a roll up on Kairi Sane thanks to a distraction from Liv Morgan. I think Liv Morgan comes out trying to help Raquel, and I think she wins via roll up. I think what happens is basically Liv distracts Kairi Sane, Rhea goes outside to deal with her. Uh, Raquel, being her bodyguard, essentially goes out and takes out her. Then inside, it's only Nikki and Kairi Sane. Then Nikki rolls her up. Therefore, no one looks less. You save everyone else basically, and give Nikki the win. I think that's how that works.
This man is working so hard to protect everyone. You're trying to protect everyone, man. That's crazy.
Because like I don't, because I think that this is where it goes, and like I agree with you. They're trying to build this storyline of having Rhea Ripley be, having all these obstacles to get back, and you're probably asking Mike, why is she losing in the first round? I don't know.
Adversity.
I
Adversity.
think that adversity. Yeah, I think there needs to be more adversity. She lost Money in the Bank. She lost Queen of the Ring. I think this could be an opportunity for them to turn her heel again.
Okay.
But I
Yeah.
don't know. I think. Yeah. That's how this goes.
A Nikki Bella win, huh?
Surprise roll up. I
Oh,
don't know.
boy.
Was she good? Was she great when she was wrestling the first time? I don't know. I could be completely wrong. She could be the equivalent of fucking David Flair. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, one thing's for sure though. You're gonna see her wrestle, and you gotta have to let me know what you think of Nikki Bella as a wrestler. But
This is probably going to sound really stupid like next week when we actually review this tape. I'm
oh,
gonna see her wrestle the first time and I'm gonna be like, I fucked up. That was not a good choice.
uh, well, we shall see. We shall see if Nikki advances, or if she even has a match, and whether or not she is good at promos. I don't know. We'll see. Moving on.
Okay. We end with the World Heavyweight Championship between Jey Uso and Gunther. I have Jey Uso winning via disqualification from a returning Drew McIntyre.
Oh.
Why does Drew McIntyre? Why does he win via DQ? I think he claymores Gunther because he's a fucking lunatic, and then he goes in the ring and claymores Jey Uso, and he leaves. And I think that's what happens. I think he switches brands, and I think he starts his path to going after Jey Uso. And I think eventually Seth Rollins wins it, but then you can put Drew McIntyre as a face again against Seth Rollins. And it also gives you the opportunity for a very interesting War Games if you want to put Drew and CM Punk on the same team.
Right. Okay. So, out of all the people in SmackDown that you want to have transferred to Raw, you would pick Drew, and not
Yes.
say LA Knight or
Yes.
okay. Huh.
I know. I thought LA Knight was going to win Money in the Bank, but I was wrong.
Damn.
I did correctly predict Naomi winning Money in the Bank. So
Yeah. LA Knight got close though. He got
he
close.
did.
But
He
you
did.
know, for the logical progression of the storyline, Seth has to win. And there you go. That. Alright, so we are going to watch the next episode of Monday Night Raw, and then we are going to do the whole score a Rooney. That is a word, yes. And we are going to score our predictions and our bookings based on the patented scoring system that we displayed. And we will reveal to you the scores from last week on the next episode of probably next week on Raw. But for now, thank you for ordering a pepperoni pizza called Probably Next Week on Raw from Grapperinos. And remember, if you are down for some fresh, oven-baked, crispy wrestling content, then stop on by Grapperinos and order yourself some content you can grapple with. See you soon, Grapperinos. And what's up?